This is What's This Life For? This was based on my massive fascination on this experience that we call life. So are you fascinated with life and what's it for? This topic. So the logical observation seems to be that all things, this is an interesting thing to look at, and there's so many different books and angles on this very topic, but all things that we seek, all the things that we desire in life, even if it's just today at this time or ultimately, seem to be mysteriously placed comfortably on the other side of a big, smelly, hard to get around, hard to maneuver pile of poop, right? So what I notice in my observation of saying, like, what's this life for, is that it seems to be far easier and much more available to fail than to succeed. Have you noticed that? Interesting observation there. And rewards of success. Here's a funny thing about success. I spoke the other day about how when somebody determines that they want to climb a mountain, they spend 99% of that experience climbing the mountain and 1% of the time on the summit. So the rewards of success seems to last much less than the agony of defeat. We spend way more time failing and being defeated and let down and struggling and all of those things than the things that we're working towards. Have you noticed that? That's a very, very important observation in life. So is our life about failing? I mean, if you look at it statistically, and we all fail forward and all these things, obstacle is the way. Is our life about failing? Is learning from failure the meaning of life? I often think about that. Are the pleasures of the wins just power pellets to keep us going through all the failures? If failing and learning by our failures is the meaning of life, then what are the pleasures and the wins? Are they just power pellets to just like Pac-Man keep us nourished so we keep failing? Right? Now, this is a cool thing, because if failure is the meaning of life, and if there is a lot more purpose than we think in failing, right, and in struggle and in adversity, right, might be something to consider getting used to. So here's an excerpt from a recent book that I read, and this is a great book, great author. Sam Harris wrote a book called Waking Up. So big shout out to Sam, and thank you. I just read a book a week, and whenever I read a book, it's kind of probably like what a hunter does after they've killed the animal. Like I just look at the book and I just express gratitude for it, because I'm writing a book, my book's coming out, and it's just so much work and thought and everything. So I kind of look at the book, and this book was awesome. Waking Up by Sam Harris. So here's what he says. We are ever in the process of creating and repairing a world that our minds want to be in. Think about that. And wherever we look, we see evidence of our success and our failures. Unfortunately, failure enjoys a natural advantage. So I think maybe that's where I got stimulated to think about this. Wrong answers to any problem outnumber the right answers by a wide margin. And it seems that it will always be easier to break things than to fix them. Have you noticed this? This is a super, super important distinction to make in life, and I'll tell you why. So despite the beauty of our world and the scope of human accomplishment, it's hard not to worry that the forces of chaos, based on this observation, it's hard not to worry that the forces of chaos will triumph, not merely in the end, but in every moment. So think about this concept of pending doom. There's a lot of that right now. It's one thing to notice that there's a lot of it right now, but what I'm saying is that it's kind of always like that, right? So you have the choice to be a victim of that, or to say maybe there's something to that, right? So our pleasures, however refined, are easily acquired. Are by their nature very, very fleeting. So what I'm saying is sometimes we can get these pleasures, we can easily get them. Sometimes they're attached to distraction, but they're very, very, easily fleeting as well. So they begin to subside the instance they arise. Think about that. Think about how much time and the building of failure and struggle and adversity just keeps getting harder and harder and harder. And then we win. And as soon as you enter the winner's circle, it starts to diminish. It doesn't last. And by human nature, we start to move on to the next win, which is on the other side of struggle. Unbelievable. Instant they arise, and only to replace by fresh desires or feelings of discomfort. So as soon as you get the win, it starts to diminish and you start to move into your next discomfort. So what's this life for? Me, what is it that I think about it at this time? I think life is about experience and adventure. Very, very similar to an amusement park ride. Think about an amusement park ride. We go to an amusement park. I remember I went to, I think, Universal Studios, and I rode the Harry Potter ride with my kids. It was a nightmare for me. I thought I was going to vomit and everything. But we get tossed around like rag dolls on an amusement ride, and we come out of the other side excited, and we consider a second turn. How is that any different than what we're talking about in life? I believe we're here in this life, and we're consciously here, present in this life, to experience life in support of a higher purpose, higher than your purpose. See, I think we get caught up in thinking that our purpose, our calling, our destiny is why we're here. I think there's a higher purpose. You can have your calling, your destiny, and your purpose. But what I'm saying is it's a grain of sand on a beach. It's a drop of water in an ocean of a bigger purpose. What I love about that is when you realize that you're not as significant as you think, you'll stop taking yourself and your failures so seriously. So don't know if we'll ever know what that higher purpose is. But if you look at things like natural selection and evolution, I think that's where the answer is. Sometimes I wonder if, I'm a big advocate of the simulation theory. And sometimes I wonder if we're just in a petri dish, and we're just some sort of an experiment, seeing what we do for a higher purpose. But if you look at natural selection and evolution, it supports that you and I are perhaps here experiencing the mountain of failures and the tip of the iceberg of pleasures to evolve as a species for survival. Maybe our job is just to play along for the evolution and survival of our species. Maybe what we're doing right now is we're just like working hard to see if we can evolve and get off this planet that we potentially are destroying and go somewhere else. The reason why this is important is, once again, what we have to do is we have to acknowledge how much of life is struggle and failure and adversity. And it's the person that gets comfortable and embraces that stuff that has a wonderful life, which gives them the ability to experience it as an adventure, right? If you change the way you look at things, things you look at change. So that's what I'm offering here. So just like nature does, nature is very, very similar to us. It's part of, it lives, it dies, but it's part of evolution. It does its job and then it goes. Are you doing your job in the grand scheme of things, or are you just thinking about you and your goals? Our challenge lies in our concept that we're supposed to enjoy ourselves. I think that we are. I think that we can. I prefer to enjoy myself than not. I don't know about you. So it depends on what you're seeking. So are you seeking a pleasurable experience? Because remember, I'm saying experience and adventure. We get to choose. That's what my morning routine is about, is I choose to have a pleasurable experience. So I'm creating a morning structure. Winning the morning, winning the day is about me getting in control of my thoughts and feelings so that I can look at this mountain of stress and failure and struggle and all that stuff that operates most of the time and somehow find a way to enjoy it. So if you want to have a pleasurable experience, well, you best learn to enjoy failure and adversity. Not just understand that it's the way, but learn to enjoy it. Voluntary discomfort is what the Stoics would call it. Flip a switch today and learn to enjoy the bumpy ride. Flip a switch and look at the bumpy ride as the good ride. And if you do, that's going to be an amazing experience. You'll learn to, what we say, embrace the suck. It's the only way you can guarantee a great day. It's the only way you can guarantee a great day, to learn how to enjoy the bumpy ride and embrace the suck. Make sense? Well, I sure hope it does, because that's all I want. My hidden agenda here is that this crazy thing that I decide to do on a daily basis, whoever comes in and listens, I just hope that it triggers you, and it triggers you in a good way, and it puts a thought in your head and makes you the dominant force of your day. Um, Love the feedback that I'm getting from everybody. And just remember, this day ahead of you has nothing to do with yesterday. And tomorrow will be a blessing and a gift if it comes, but you don't know about it. It's a mystery. So right now, in this present moment, you have everything that you need to proceed and succeed. Everything. And it's just about flipping a switch and changing the way you look at this day and embracing it and understanding its impermanence. Just go for it today. Get uncomfortable today, do crazy things, and get excited about the crazy things. And let me know how the things go at the end of the day. So love and appreciate you. Follow us at Rise Up with Dragon Everything, Rise Up with Dragon website. Get on our newsletter. We got some fun giveaways coming up with the books. Please, if you learned something today, give it away. First of all, that's how it's going to stay. You can't, if you want to keep something, give it away. Share this with somebody. Share the podcast. All the podcast episodes are sub 5 minutes, and it's going to be a great way to just get in tune in the morning. So great morning to everybody that came in live. Love and appreciate you all, and have an amazing day.